Alright, so I'm already short the NASDAQ, and I thought I could short the ES for a little scalp before the market opens March 1st and runs higher. See the mini NASDAQ futures already against me. I don't have a stop on this, but I don't want it to. I'd rather get out with a scratch than hold it, so just watching it closely. Looks like it kind of could roll over. There's a active trader version in here too, where I could watch it over here. This is my stop exit right there. Flatten. I think my Wi-Fi is a little weird tonight. So it's Sunday, almost 10:30 Eastern. I don't know why this keeps blanking out on the refresh. There's a flatten button. I'm using TastyWorks as my trading platform, but there's a flatten button right here, and so yeah, I expect first of the month. Stimulus is about to go through. People are upbeat. Maybe NASDAQ's oversold in the short term. So yeah, I just want to hold on to my short NASDAQ micro future. So what I was trying to just offset the losses that I knew I would take this week by scalping if I saw a setup, and kind of watched the ES roll over a little bit. So I thought I would take this trade. Hoping to make $50, but we'll see. My other plan, obviously, is I could let's go back to the chart. Every once in a while, I like to pivot to the 4-minute time frame. I just kind of assume everyone's looking at the 5-minute and maybe sometimes 1-minute chart. I'm trying to judge direction based on that. But I like the 4 because you get extra bars, obviously. So you get more indicators about what's happening. But yeah, like I said, I'm underwater almost $500 on this ES. I mean, on the NASDAQ. And my entry was Friday. It's pretty crappy, but 12,795 before it went off to the races. See, I put a couple channels and stuff on here, kind of see what's going on. I think I got in 10 o'clock. It might have been over here. Yeah. It might have been this. And then it sold off. And I didn't get out, and then I got tested, and yeah, it couldn't have been entry there. So this, I'm just looking at the bottom. It's off screen for you, but it's this was around between 10 and 10:30 on Friday. And you can see even the this is what the NASDAQ's doing right now. It opened Sunday evening, 6 o'clock Eastern, this big channel, and then we've just sort of been bouncing around. But this is ES. It looks like, yeah, I don't, it's negative $500, which, you know, trying to hold that this week, see how much pain. I had a good week last week, so I feel like I can handle it. It's not a huge account. It's started it with 25 early mid-February, so it's relatively new, but I've been trading options and futures for a while. Stepped out, mostly just working on small business and some other stuff and dividend stocks for a while. Getting back into more active trading. And yeah, so I mean, it's more about managing the risk. You know, $500 on a $25,000 account is 2%. So, but because I'm up and because I locked in some good gains the last couple of weeks, I think I'm up just over 13%. Some luck, clearly some luck. But yeah, I feel like I can hold the NASDAQ short. If we do get a head and shoulders and the NASDAQ runs up again a little bit before it rolls over, then, oh yeah, that's what I was going to show you. So then the plan would be maybe to hedge it with so right around here is my entry. Because I'm short, I could sell a put against it, kind of like a reverse covered call, essentially, by selling a futures option. And if it runs if it runs really high, obviously I don't want to wait too long to do that, because I'll get a better fill. Yeah, so the ES is coming back. I'm just going to move this down. Yeah, but back to so what I like about these two micro futures is there are tradable options on them. So on the all right, not that. So right here, my entry was 816, 12/8/16. So if I go over here, and even if I sold a 5-day 12, that's underwater. So this would be the most logical one, and then pull this up so you can see it. So the IV 37, it's the range of 400 points plus or minus. So if I split this, sort of mid price, you see max profit 253, and then a small credit to my buying power. I'll click it once. I'm not going to put this in, but so that's a hedge, and the if the NASDAQ kept moving away from me, I could sell that put, and then make some gains on that before it rolled back over. So that's a possibility. Obviously, I don't want to do that because I don't want to get pinned into the right trade and then have a put right there keeping me from taking some actual gains. So that was the idea with this. So back to the ES. Yeah, looks like it's going in the right direction. So I was on Thinkorswim before. Before that, I was on E-Trade for a while. Some people would ask me, like, why don't I have a trailing stop on this? Capture a certain amount, and then if it reverses back, get stopped out and be done. And the real reason that I'm not doing that, the main reason, is because I actually thought I would be out of this faster. So I was trying to just manage it manually, and then be done. Because I feel like the futures position the NASDAQ future might go against me as much as, maybe 750. And because I have I try to always leave at least 50% of the account capital ready to trade. I should be able to handle that, even if I get a really bad mark to market in the morning, and they take more maintenance cash to hold the future short, which will obviously happen if we end up blasting up all week. But what I was also hoping to do, if possible, but I'm not getting that opportunity, is I'm more than willing to get out of this, which is why I have almost a scratch exit set up for this trade. You can see so far from where we are. This arrow points at, I do that every once in a while to keep me scrolling. So that was my awful entry. And this actually pulls us to below those. Above the low from Friday. So I don't expect to get all the way back down to the bottom. If we do, then obviously a bunch of my other the calls that I've sold and a bunch of my option positions will be in good shape. So I'm more than happy to kind of get out with this relatively tight if that happens tonight. Because if it happens tonight as a fake, as a bull trap for people this week, by just rolling over, then I'm fine to get out. I don't expect I'm going to be able to get out of this. So that's why I gave myself a little room. But that's also why I'm trading the ES to try to add a little bit more. Add a little bit of a gain. Add a little gain here because to kind of buffer some of the losses that are going to be coming from not being able to exit the NASDAQ micro future. So yeah, and because I'm relatively new to this trading platform, I just moved the money over. Like I said, this is the last day, last night of February. So tomorrow's March 1st. The money has actually all been deposited this month. So I haven't even been in the platform for more than 2 or 3 weeks or something. I just don't want to make a fat finger error on the trailing stop and then immediately and then go to sleep and then realize that I messed it up and the things the ES and the NASDAQ are rallying. So yeah, I appreciate you checking this out. I'm just sharing it if it's helpful. I think in the account, my main strategy is going to be a premium seller, to take options premium when volatility is higher and kind of sell out of the money puts and calls. Call spreads, iron condors, call spreads, strangles, the jade lizard, which is just a put and a bear call spread. So this does not look good. Look at this. It's putting up a fight. Is that my... Since the 4 minute, I'll go back to the 5 for a second. Yeah, I mean it'll cover fees if I get out of here soon. I think if it looks like it wants to go all the way back, then I'm just hoping this. You can see down here I got the I like to keep the MACD open and watch for the cross. Again, for me, that's a relatively new I'm sorry, I'm yawning. it's a relatively new setup, so we'll see. And I'll probably edit this down so it's not epic. I might even have to do a better voice over the whole thing so that it's clean. But at least this way I'll have the footage to screen capture. This looked so promising right in here, but I guess not. I think that would put us at yeah, I don't want to make that mistake. I was going to say, I was going to talk about how much this would make, this exit, but it's not about how much you could make, it's how much you could lose. So to keep track of that. If we get any more strength here, I'm going to flatten, but let's see. Plus, obviously, I keep yawning, so I need to go to sleep, and I don't want to leave this open. And the MACD looks like we're going to cross back, so I might have to take my $15, $13. It's weird because I mean, it may really clearly come back to the futures open this evening. So back down here to 38.16. Where we open right here, 38.17, thereabouts. But I can't stay. I have a lot of things to do tomorrow, so I can't stay up all night and watch this. And I have a bunch of, I'm not even sure whether some of the levels that are in here, there's so many blue lines in here, but for me, I'll just make a couple comments about that. Yeah, it looks like we might be closing this pretty soon. So yeah, I don't necessarily consider all these lines as support and resistance. These are just places, lines in the sand where there was some activity before, and places where people hit a top and then so we're at like $5 or $6. I mean, this is a scratch. This looks like it's a scratch. Yeah, I just do not want two problem childs out here. Let me see if you can see this. It's like So I can move my exit here. The thing, since I've had problems, not had problems. I've lost money before in the market, and I can tell you that, everyone says they have mental stops, and what they mean is that when they cross the barrier, or they say is an absolute barrier, they're like, well, let me just give it a little bit more. It's how you get in trouble, because, you let winners run, as they say, and you cut losses quick. The ES here could be another negative 500, and if it got up that far against me, then it would mean that the NASDAQ was against me as well. So I have to have some trading discipline, and if this goes flat or negative, then I need to just flatten it and kill the trade, and then just preserve the capital, and have money to trade again. Which, if I think about all the mistakes I made years ago when I was trading more seriously, let's take a look at the chart. Looks like I might be getting let's give ourselves a little space while we take a peek. The mistake I made was always sort of reevaluating it on the fly, and not just letting the sort of emotion of the trade kind of take hold. I don't like the way that, oops. Just move this up a little bit. If you look at the real battle here, we're recrossing the zero line on the MACD. They tighten this up. Kind of want it to take me out. All right, we're at 11 and change, 10. So there's my cost basis. Here's my small disappearing profit. I've already been in the trade too long, probably, direction-wise. Let's see what happens here. If this can hold over, then maybe I'll hang in. Otherwise, might be time for bed. Be great if this. But yeah, I was saying. I think in the past there was too much bias. I was sure the market was going to go down, and I was sure the market would go up, and instead of let the market tell you what it wants to do. Right now the market is saying that it wants to jump around, and of course it's it's Sunday night, 11 o'clock Eastern. It's not 10:53. There's probably not enough volume It's 83,000 shares of the micro E-mini. It's not enough volume to mean a trend, but it doesn't mean anything. It's just popping around. But in general, I think last week could just mean oversold, and with tomorrow being a new month and a whole bunch of stimulus money probably coming into the market, probably means it's weird for me to look at this too. I put it up because I like the proximity of the flatten, but I also like the fact that if you click on these limit prices, you can just slide them around, and then it updates the order and sends a new order immediately. So by moving this dashed line for my exit, it's actually sending a replacement order, which is a nice feature. Let's give myself a little bit more space. And same thing over here. When I pull this back, I'm giving myself a little bit more space. And honestly, I feel like I haven't until this month, I haven't traded futures in such a long time. I'm not really sure how close I would want to keep my stops. So it's actually one of the things I like about all the videos on YouTube is you can kind of see where, look at all this volume down here. Let me rejoin that and go check the chart. So, almost stopped out. But yeah, I was going to say, it's what I like about YouTube is I can find some other futures traders and see how tight they're running these. I mean, for me, most of what I'm like I said before, most of what I'm doing is I'm selling premium. I'm selling puts on things that are oversold. I'm selling calls on things that are overbought, and I'm selling neutral positions sometimes on both sides, strangles, puts and calls. Let's see what this looks like. So we're back down to $500 from my. So here they have tabs, so I can actually turn on and off my open positions. Except for Tesla, I actually have a put spread in Tesla that went against me. Most of the other positions are in good shape. They just need the clock to run out a little bit. And even though the entries were good because volatility spiked, some of the premiums went a little higher, and some of the options prices that should have come in because of the distance that I have, the strike between the natural price, they didn't come in as much because the volatility pushed the options prices higher. But that should settle out this week. It's actually one of the reasons why I'm kind of happy to see the market bounce and go up a little bit this week. If that's what's going to happen, I have no idea. Because then maybe I can get out of my Tesla spread and ride the pain a little bit for my Tesla call spreads, and then wait for it to continue selling off. Because most of my call spreads are so far out of the money, I don't think they're going to be tested, even if we have a really strong week. All right, so it looks like this is coming back a little bit. Just does not want me to go to bed. The other lesson for me here too, based on mistakes of the past, is not to get too greedy. I mean, I just want to go to sleep. So, and I don't want this video to be epic. So, I'm not going to, it's kind of a promise I've made with myself this time trading anyways, is, it's kind of a fool's game to try to get every penny out of every trade. You can't do it. And the lesson with options anyways is if you can get a third to half a credit received, if you can just keep it, then I buy back options all the time once they move in my favor, even if it happens really quick. If I sell an option if I sell a premium and take in $100, and then the next day, it's $50, I'll buy it back and lock in the 50 rather than wait and try to catch more than that. And sometimes if you sell it for 100 and you can lock in $25, $30, $40, that's plenty. It doesn't need to be. See, look at this battle. I think I might close this out. I don't want to see the $20 erode again. You can see that maybe this big number down here might be the smart money. Let's see. So yeah, as you can see, I don't really have a great system yet, workflow. And, I'm screen grabbing this software for the first time. So I'm not really sure how big of a section to show you. Let me slide this over and show you these are the watch lists on the side. So yeah, I haven't been watching this since 6 o'clock. Because if that's the case, and I close this now for $20, that's a pretty lousy return on my time. But yeah, that's also a great lesson about the carrying cost, like mentally. Just having a trade open that you don't really care about, that you don't really want to hold. I've kind of already made my peace to hold this one. So Yeah, it's the 4 minute. Let's go back to the 5 minute chart for a second. See what others are seeing. Pull this down here. Go to the 1 minute chart. Yeah, on the 1 minute, it looks like we're done. But let's watch this for a second so you can see, we can get an idea of the sort of velocity of trading. It says the trade size at the top is 12 by 24, 8 by 22, 5 by 23, 1 by 25. Could mean more sellers right now, at least. At least until morning. You would think that that's sort of what they want anyways, institutional traders. If we're going to have a rally week, sell it off all night, bring it back down to its lows, buy a bunch crack of dawn before the market's moving, and then rally all day. Maybe or maybe all week. We'll see what happens. All right. I might close this. This video is getting long. And the timer on the video makes me realize how much time and energy I'm putting into a trade to make $17. So yeah, that's what I was saying before, is that I think one of the mistakes I made in the past was I would spend way too much time in trades that, for whatever reason, weren't going to work out or just brought me too much mental anguish, weren't worth the risk, the time. And you understand the risk here. The risk here isn't this tiny position, and whether or not it might roll over and go back down here, or it's going to go back up and test the highs. That's not the risk. The risk is that if the ES does that, even the micro, then the NASDAQ will do that too. And then I'll have two problems instead of one. And obviously there's a bunch of options positions in here that I could go through, but this video is epic. And a few of them are in the money. But they're not really in a bad way. More pinned because of like what I said about because of volatility went up, they're priced they were priced higher. So the time decay hasn't really kicked in yet. But I can see right now the volatility is down almost 3% right now. So that's one of the ways that I've been making money in February, is buying the volatility micro future, making scalps in there. At the most, 2 or 3 contracts at a time. Usually just one, like this, maybe one of each. What's good about the micros is if you mess up your entry on one, you don't get you catch the wrong part of a rally. If you only have a small position, you can just grab one of the others. If you're shorting the NASDAQ and it doesn't look good, then you can, and it goes against you, but then you got to set up again. You can short the Dow or the ES or the Russell. It's like they're faking them out. This does not look convincing. 1250 is like that many ticks on a full ES. Would be a lot more money than 1250. And I think that was a mistake I made before too. I'm trying to get my my chops and my awareness back with futures before I would even consider trading the full product again /ES, because it's too much notional value, too much risk. It goes against you, and you're down $500 very easily, you know. All right, I think I think I'm gonna stop moving this around and see if I can get it to take me out just above this crowd down here at 38.38. But I don't know if that's going to happen. So let me. They still want me to just flatten this and take a market fill and then barely make my commission fees. See, I'm also kind of getting an idea of whether or not these volumes are going to have any impact on what's going on right now. So if these are sellers and these are buyers, and we sort of toggle through here with bid ask, I mean, obviously, and this is the micros, and this is, middle of the night. You can see that, again, I have to learn some more in here to figure out if, because those volumes don't seem to be moving that much. So I don't know if how locked in some of those prices are. Oops. Whether they'll just take the other side of the trade that easily. Okay. Yeah, the other thing too is, I'm patient because I'm kind of splitting the difference here. If this is my short entry and I'm willing to be taken out here and I'm not in trouble, we came all the way up to hit flatten. They were trying to test my resolve. It's moving slow enough in here that I don't need to I don't really need to worry about it jumping against me, but at the same time, it is getting late, and $18 is kind of ridiculous. Even for the length of this, the raw video alone tells me that I've been in this for quite a bit. This was supposed to be a quick $50 or $75, a little hedge money to hold the NASDAQ position in case it gets marked to market really bad tomorrow, and just a little extra capital in that account. Simple trade. But it was not. So, like I said, 4-minute chart, kind of my favorite. To pull back to the 5. And then let's see what the 15 looks like. Yeah, it's pretty good. So yeah. But yeah, I think I would prefer to on the micros at least, to figure out what the standard sort of trailing stop is. Figure out the best way to set those in here as a I think in this software they're treated as a bracket order, because the thing you don't want to happen with a buy to cover is that you accidentally reverse position and then go long. Even though I think, like I said, I think we're going to bounce this week. I don't need that problem either. If we don't, give it a little bit more room. Check this trading tab. So yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if let's put it at this line in the sand and see where 38.38 is on the chart. See what. Yeah, it's interesting. It looked like it was resistance for a while around 7 o'clock. I don't know if you can call it resistance when it's all like one evening, but it looks like it was the temporary ceiling and then it became the temporary floor. So intranight support and resistance. So if that's true, yeah, we're only a couple points away from that. I think if we approach that line in the sand and it doesn't meet it, I might just flatten and get out. In the process here, you hit flatten, but it probably will just take my bid. But if it moves against me, if you hit flatten here, then it makes you confirm up here, and then you're out market order. You give it a little bit more room. Feels like it wants to drop. Let's see. That's the 4-minute chart. I mean, this was the low an hour ago. if traders are going along this week for the bounce, for the sort of oversold bounce, and for the beginning of the month and stimulus and all those factors, they might want to goose them a little bit by all the people that bought in here. Just kind of pinch them a little, see if they can, see if they're weak hands. Yeah, and like I said, I probably, if I was willing to stay up until 3 a.m, maybe there is $75 in this trade, but I have no idea. Even though it's a one lot, it's a Johnny one lot. I look at it like maybe this can sort of smell this, like it's a meal or something. And I'm kind of hoping that it comes down there and takes it out. So that's the bottom of this big candle. And based on how long this video is, I think I'm going to let it take me out there, especially if it can happen in the next couple of minutes. I don't want to leave too much on the table. It depends on how quickly, if we get some real velocity downwards, I might give it a little bit more space. But yeah, I would always rather leave lots of money on the table than get stuck in something. And I'm saying that because even with my this NASDAQ trade, even with the NASDAQ trade, intraday, once it started going against me, I sold a put, and then before the day was over, I took some money on the put. So I made some money on the hedged. But I think I'm generally feeling like the market might roll over, so I was fine to hold the NASDAQ, even though, the trading discipline should tell you in that situation, once it went $100 against me, $200 against me, it's already pretty silly. I think I'd rather be net short here than net long. So, so even with this position, if I felt like it wouldn't test my trading capital too much, I'd probably just leave it on. But if we have a really crazy blow up week, up 2% or something, I don't think I can hold this. And the NASDAQ, and have them both go against me hard. So that's what's going on here. All right, so I think there's a little velocity. Whoa. Space. Come on. Yeah, and look, you can see the MACD cross back over. All right, so it went through 38.38. $36.35. Yeah, again, don't pay attention to what you could make. Pay attention to what you could lose. There's a lot of volume at the 38. I think I'm gonna kind of meet him halfway a little bit. This is 33, 35, that range. All right, let's take a little bit more. It looks like it's going to drop now that it's crossing. Oops. Yeah, so that's the low, like I said, from an hour ago. So let's give it a little bit more room and then see where we're at. I don't know if we can get down there. Looks like there's almost no. Again, if those volumes are correct, these are the Johnny 1 lots down here. Super hopeful. Let's not be greedy. I do not want this to start climbing back up again. Yeah. Whatever's going on here is a lot of volume, a lot of activity. 13 by 11, 17. Looks like a lot of people are covering maybe. Or they're buying because they think they're getting ready for tomorrow and they're happy to enter early. Let's see if I can get my. We're really close to closing this out. Was at that line in the sand, the 38, 38. Like that's as low as it's going to go. They warned me, right? So yeah, this might make $35 if we can get it to take me out here. Yeah, if those are net buyers though, this could start climbing again. They don't want to give this guy. What is happening? I don't understand why I'm not. $38, $38, is that okay? Oh, okay, I see. It's still below on the MACD, so that price is still possible. But so I'm joining them. See what that looks like on the chart. That's that. All right. One more. This is like a $30 an hour job. $35 an hour job, maybe. All right, I think it's going to take me out right here. Camera. All right, I'm going to flatten. All right, so 27.50 because it was moving away. Crazy. Yeah. So pretty ridiculous. But it just wouldn't fill that last tick down there. And then let's take a look at the chart. Yeah, so I was trying to get it to touch back down here. You can see the candle sort of wicking back up. This is the 4 minute. Yeah. It's kind of ridiculous. This trading range is so tight. You can see with all this red, that's why I took the trade. But then with all this sideways action, not worth it. So my main concern is that I wanted to sort of hedge. I wanted to just throw some cash into the coffers to offset this short. Let me just take a look at that real quick before we call it. Yeah, same thing. So this is a trading range that looks equally as tight. You know, run up, do this. We might sell off a little bit overnight. Like I said, I expect an up week. Yeah, I had a short in here, which was a good entry. That one was all set. And then again, I thought we were somewhere. I must have reset it somewhere in here and then got whipsawed and stuff and then stuck and decided to keep it over the weekend because I thought this was indicative of us really going down. But yeah, anyways, this has been cool. Thanks for checking it out, and help me out by liking and subscribing, and see you next time. All right, thanks.